Hello everybody, welcome to Jonathan Checo Fitness. In this video, we will talk about the calf. As you all know, the calf is the back portion of the lower leg in human anatomy. The muscles within the calf correspond to the posterior compartment of the leg. The two largest muscles within this compartment are known together as the calf muscle and attached to the heel via the Achilles tendon. They are known as the gastrocnemius and soleus. So, during walking, running, or jumping, the calf muscle pulls the heel up to allow forward movement. So, in every, let's say, if you're gonna move from point A to point B using your legs, you're gonna use your calf muscle. So what I'm trying to say is that you're using it always. So why a lot of people are deficient in this particular area, as in deficient as in they have it small and they want it to grow? Well, it's because they don't train it as they are supposed to train it, because since a lot of people use long pants and they just want to get a big chest, big arms, big shoulders, they don't really care about legs. That's why a lot of people skip even leg day, which is worse. So if you really want to have big calf muscles, you have to train them hard, like if it were chest day. So there are a few techniques which I will share with you guys so you could learn how to maximize muscle growth for your calves. Well, to start off, you need to always train your calf muscle as if it were any other muscle group like chest. Also, you need to do full range of motion, because there are a lot of people that don't go all the way down and don't go all the way up, and they just stay in the middle. You could stay in the middle. Once you reach muscle failure, you could bounce from 20 to 100 reps, bouncing it off, because you're overloading the muscle, which is okay. But if you're going to start bouncing off from the beginning with a lot of weight, well, you're just losing your time, because you're not using all those muscle fibers that you need to use so your muscles could grow and look bigger. So a technique that I usually use, because a lot of people have a problem doing what's called a mind muscle connection. They don't feel their muscles, and it's not only the calf muscle, but a lot of people have problems feeling their back muscles whenever they are doing a particular exercise for their back. A technique that I use, and not only to have that mind muscle connection, but to also eliminate other assisting muscles and try to isolate the one I'm trying to work completely. Well, it depends on the exercise too, because if you're gonna do a bench press, for example, you cannot take out your shoulders from the equation and your triceps. That's a compound exercise, and whatever you do, those muscles are gonna assist you in the movement. But let's say I'm trying to work the calf muscle. A technique that I usually use is, I usually, before I go all the way up and all the way down, well, in this case, before I go all the way up, I stop at the middle and count at least a second. And if you can count up to 2 seconds, even better, because that way you could maximize your muscle contraction and feel more your muscles, because you eliminate any kind of inertia you could use from the beginning. Because a lot of people bounce their way, or they use inertia from the beginning of the movement. It's very important for you guys to use the muscle you're trying to work from the beginning, But this could help, even though you could use it from the beginning. But if you pause for a second or two in the middle of the movement and then finish the movement, you're gonna feel a lot of muscle activation, and you're gonna feel more your muscles. And another thing is, once you finish the movement all the way to the top, try to contract it as hard as possible, at least half a second until you go all the way down. And when you go all the way down, don't go all the way down that you could injure yourself. Go all the way down until you could hold that stretch for at least half a second or a second, and then complete the movement again. This technique has worked for me for a lot of exercises in which I used to do before, and I've always felt it, because if you're doing an exercise and you don't feel it, stop doing it. Stop wasting your time. But if you get to do a certain exercise that you don't feel it, well, this is the perfect technique, especially for those people that don't feel their backs. Just holding it for half a second before completing the movement, and then completing and holding that movement again, that's a very good technique that has worked for me. So now going on to the video, as you can see here, I'm stretching resting a little bit, because I usually rest just 20 to 30 seconds, or just the time that I use to get the plates. I don't know how many plates I have there. I think I have 345s on each side. Yeah, I think it's 345s on each side. I go all the way up to 5 plates on each side. But when I do 5 plates on each side, my range of motion is not that big. I'm just trying to do a few so I could get used to the weight. So next time I go heavy, it's a bit easier for me. So that's how you could do it, not only on your calf muscle but on other exercises. But it's good to have a spotter if you're gonna do some kind of exercise that you know the weight's gonna get on you, and it's not easy to get off you. If you're gonna go very heavy and just want to get used to the weight, that's what I usually do on squats too. I put 4 plates on each side, and I just go down all the way I could, and then I go up with a spotter, just trying to get used to the weight. So now I'm getting other 45s around the gym, because a lot of people, there's not many in my gym, so a lot of people use them, and I'm trying to look for them. It's very difficult when you're gonna do leg press in my gym, because a lot of times you have to wait for people so they could finish with their 45, so you could use it too. So guys, back to what I was saying. If you want huge calf muscle, you have to also work it every single day. Oh, that's overtraining. Oh, this and that. Well, guys, I have what? Let's say I think I have more than a year training it 7 days a week. Sometimes because of if I usually get sick, or if I have to work the whole day and I don't have time to hit the gym, well then it might be 5 or 6 days a week. But I'm usually in the gym 7 days a week. I don't take no rest day, and it has worked for me. The soreness is gonna go the more you go to the gym. Your muscles grow the more times you go to the gym. It's better for you to do 3 or 4 times a muscle during the same week than to kill it in one day, because muscle respond they grow to frequency, not volume. So if you could go all the days to the gym and stimulate the muscle, it's gonna grow, and a lot. And it has worked for me for my calves. My brother used to call me chicken legs, because I had very small calves, and I got frustrated with it. So that's why I have more than a year hitting my calves before I start my workout. If it's legs, I always do it before my legs. Because if you have a lagging body part, it's always good to stimulate before anything. I mean, before any exercise you do. For example, if today's chest day and you have, let's say, your triceps are lagging, well, in this case, I don't recommend it because you use your triceps for chest, but if you want, you could hit the tris very hard, at least a exercise before you hit chest. But be careful because you might have your triceps fatigued, then you can go very heavy on chest, but you'll get used to it, man. I mean, it has worked for me. And another thing that I do, after I finish my calf training, I stretch the shit out of them for like a minute. Here at the end of this video, I'm not sure if it's gonna come out where I'm stretching it, but I can't stretch the shit out of them in this way, in this particular area of the gym. So I usually go to another area and I stretch the shit out of them, and I hold it for at least a minute on each calf because I get a huge pump that I could barely walk. I don't know if you could notice it, but look how I'm walking. I could barely walk because the pump is so huge that I could barely touch the floor normal. Oh, and I always do a drop set. I always do a drop set because that's another thing that has helped me grow my calf muscles. So guys, if you have any questions, you could ask below. Please like this video, and I'll be uploading more and more videos and giving you some techniques that I usually use so I could grow my muscles. Because a lot of you out there started the same way I did, that you guys didn't know anything before hitting those weights, and I mean, YouTube has grown a lot and Google too, so you could research anything. But there's a lot of techniques, small tweaks that you guys should know and could help you. Because if I had these tips before I started hitting the gym, I would be huge. But this is a thing that it's like school. You will always learn and learn more and learn more because it's everybody is different, and maybe if something works for me, it might not work for you, and vice versa. Look here, I was trying to stretch it, but I couldn't feel it that much, so I went to another area to stretch it. And here I think yeah, I turned off the camera there. And well, that's about it. And please subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one, guys.